My name's Bronwyn Maree. I'm from South Africa, based in Cape Town, and I'm very fortunate that I get to work with pelagic seabirds, birds that are found only offshore, in particular albatrosses and petrel species. We work with albatrosses because they're highly threatened with extinction. Over 300,000 of them are killed every year. One of the main threats that albatrosses and pelagic seabirds in general face is through fishing interactions. The birds are attracted to the fishing vessels either because of fish waste going overboard, or when in a longline fishery, when fisheries put bait on hooks, they're attracted to that as an easy meal, and they accidentally get hooked and dragged underwater, and unfortunately in many cases drown. Our organisation has an aim to protect habitats and ecosystems in which these birds are found, as well as the actual species themselves. So in the next 5 years we'd like to see a reduction in bycatch of seabirds in all fisheries by over 80%. BirdLife South Africa also aims not to affect people's lives, so we try to enhance them by giving them sustainable options and not just trying to stop them fishing, but giving them practices that make it a sustainable living for time to come. My role is to lead a team of instructors. We're specialist people who work with fishermen, so we go out to sea for a large amount of time. We show them what sustainable fishing practices are like and how to implement devices that don't catch seabirds. And I'm one of the few women who work in this environment, so it's quite a tough one to be involved in. Other than that, we do a lot of awareness. So we speak to people, schools, and we go and try and talk to the CEOs of the managing companies to try and get them to implement our devices to protect seabirds. There's a myth about the albatross that many fishermen thought that if they harmed an albatross, that they would be harming sailors past, but unfortunately this is no longer the case. So that's most of the reason why fishermen have not really cared too much more about seabirds. They go out to catch one particular fish and that's what they concentrate on. So we have to get back into that thought process of how special seabirds are and how alike actually to humans they are. And by keeping them, they're actually saving their environment for future. I'm very fortunate that I get to work with these seabirds. Many people will never see them, and just to be emotionally free, such as an albatross flying over the oceans, and just seeing them in their natural environment brings me a lot of joy and encouragement. And just being able to be out with them and just being able to save them and know that in future we're going to have albatrosses is what keeps me going every day. The prize money from the Future for Nature Award will be put towards the continued testing of a new device that we're using in the longline fishery. It looks a promising device to replace any other measures that we currently use. It's a one device that will potentially solve seabird bycatch, as well as things like turtle and shark bycatch. It's called the hook pod, and it fits over the barb of a hook, protects the bait so fishermen don't lose as much bait and are able to catch more fish, but it also prevents the birds being caught. And at a certain depth, it uses a pressure release system and releases the hook to fishing. So it's a very clever, well thought and well designed reusable device, and we're going to use this money to finalize the testing of it and move it into the Asian and high seas fleets. The Future for Nature prize has allowed me to see that the work I'm doing has some positive success stories, and also I find it very important to be able to touch lives with young people, inspire them and give them the energy that I had from people such as David Attenborough and Jane Goodall. So one of my dreams and hopes for the future is that people don't only just want to comply to the fishing regulations or any regulation that constitutes towards conservation, but they actually have a real understanding and a real passion and a real love that they learn to want to do that, not just be told to do that. And I hope that through education and spreading the word, we'll be able to get people to want to buy into conservation for the future.